Hey guys, Tisha here, and we are back with another Sister Wives Season 6 review. You are reading the screen right. I did skip episode 7 because it was another one of those question and answer periods, and I feel like those are a waste of time. I did watch, and as usual, the family was asked some of those same questions that we always hear, and they answer it in different ways, and it's no point in going over it. So we're just gonna start where the episode began. We find out that it's been 2 weeks of the families all living together in their new homes, even though there was a big fuss about when the family's going to get in the house, it was really a week later than everybody else that Leon and Mary were able to move into their new home. We find out how the kids are doing a great job adjusting, that it's mainly the adults that are struggling because they're having a problem with setting boundaries, because as usual, the adults were not proactive and did not approach this thing like what the Darger family suggested to them last season, which was for them to operate from the standpoint when it came to their households. These families do not want to do that. They say that they don't know how to unite after 2 years of independence because each family has been doing things in their own way. Like different moms have different schedules and bedtimes and all those other things. So there's an adjustment as far as that is concerned. Mary says that since moving, that she's not even seeing her child as much, that she notices that Leon tends to hang out more frequently with Aspen and Madison because of how close they now live, which is really what they all wanted. We have to remember that these kids grew up together for such a long period of time, and to separate them as teens and move them from being into a household where they saw each other every single day to now ain't no telling how often they were seeing each other. It did have to probably kind of put a little bit of distance in the relationship at some point. We then find out that the bird has bought a fire pit because the duffel bag that we see Cody has been using for the past 2 years irritates them. And even though they're struggling with finances, they're going to burn this duffel bag because he apparently only needed it when taking trips to their houses. He doesn't need it when he goes anywhere else with these women. That they feel that that duffel bag is a symbol of his detachment from the family. We then have this portion of jewelry where we see Cody meet up with the distributors of the Sister Wives Closet pieces, and he is going to be creating his own pieces for his wives. He says that Robin is a bird, and then after her divorce, she has felt like she's a phoenix that is rising out of the ashes. Anything to make Robin sound like she's just this phenomenal being. The fact that she likes being called a bird makes me feel like, damn it, I'm going to have to change her name. I don't want her to enjoy being called a bird. Like she's watching this. So Robin gets the phoenix. Mary is loyalty. So that's going to be her gift. As he's talking about doing the phoenix for Robin, he's like, well, because I'm doing animals, maybe I should stick to the animal theme and give Mary a dog. This man is so stupid. Jenna, who's the designer of the pieces, let him know that no woman wants a gift of a dog. So he then comes up with something else. So it's going to be a heart with a crown and then the word fidelis in it, which means loyalty in another language. Janelle is earth, so she's going to have a tree. Christine is air, so he wants a fairy, because a fairy has a little bite, just like Christine. Jenna points out how he has different things with different wives, and maybe he's allowed to do that with polygamy, because in monogamy, what you're really trying to find is everything in that one person. I thought that was a really good point, because that is something that you don't think about. Like in polygamy, I guess it is kind of easy for you to seek out what you may not get from one wife in another. Whereas in monogamy, we really are looking for a whole bunch of things in that one person. So I said, okay, Jenna, that's a good point. He's really excited about it, but as usual, I don't like any of the pieces. Me personally, show me the money, honey, because those pieces weren't cute. We then see the Browns head to a casino to start selling wholesale at a location. We find out that it's going to be cheaper because it's not going to be the same quality according to the same quality according to the Browns. These are going to be lower end, more marketable pieces. As they're getting ready to leave to get in the car, Cody runs by, and I'm reminded of how this guy kept running from house to house like he couldn't just walk. The rest of the families are walking, but he's running. It's just the extraness of Cody. Janelle still is undecided about how invested she wants to be in the business. I don't blame her. They're all excited. They get to this place. They see the mermaids swimming in the pool at this casino, and they're so intrigued by the mermaids, who just happen to have on a bra, and of course the flipper. So they go into this whole discussion about modesty and how they feel like the mermaids wearing a bikini and the waitresses wearing one isn't similar, that it's something different. And I feel like y'all are being hypocritical, because either way, it's a bikini top. They wonder if them being in a casino selling their pieces is morally okay. My old church would say no, but they feel like because of the other family-oriented things that are in the casino, that it's okay for them to sell there. So basically, they made it okay. Because if you're telling me that you're against gambling and things of that nature, if you're really, really stronghold on these beliefs, you would not be in a place where that is going on. You would not sell your items in that place. That would be like somebody who says that they don't participate in the distribution of alcohol and or the sales of alcohol, but they have their products in a liquor store. So they do things that makes them feel okay with doing things. We find out that the store that they're going to be in is called Guilt. They said that they weren't really sure about it because of the name, but it's really just like guilty pleasure as far as shopping. We find out that they're really thankful for this because Jen and her husband were pitching the idea of the business being in their in other stores within the different casinos, and the other places had no desire for polygamous products to be sold in their stores. I feel like it's ironic because you don't want to offend your clients about some polygamous, but there are other things that may be offensive to other clients in the casino. And that is pointed out by the family. Guilt is excited to have them. They believe that the advertising for them and to that store can only bring in a bigger draw. And I don't think even if it was in the store, I'd be running to go get their product. I could be wrong, though. Did anybody out there purchase any other products? We then get Janelle. Janelle is frustrated with her weight loss because she is no longer seeing progress. She lost 2.5 more inches at this weigh-in, but her trainer is tired of her complaining about the weight when her measurements are still going down and her energy is going up and all these other things are happening. He decides that he's going to set up a meeting with her for her nutritionist. They go and meet the nutritionist. The nutritionist says the food will give you the weight you desire. The workouts will give you the shape that you desire. So basically, she wants to put her on a 1,500 calorie diet. She's going to switch some things up. And she's saying she should drop some more pounds once they do that. She's excited and she's ready to try it out to see if it makes a difference. We then have Mary. Oh, y'all, this scene. Cody runs to Mary so they can go to the Red Rock Canyon, the place that we saw him making out with Robin at, to have a picnic and discuss having a baby. She says she's nervous about talking about it. The worm let us know that he's honestly nervous about what Mary will say, because if she does say that she wants to go through with the process of having a baby, he doesn't know what he's going to do because his gut isn't telling him that. What the hell do you mean? These are the types of games that he plays. So it's like I said several episodes ago, several seasons ago, when Cody presented the idea to do IVF, he did not really want to have a baby with Mary. I think he put it out there to complicate things. Mary points out how Cody keeps asking her how she feels about having a baby and if she wants to have a baby, and she does not know how she feels. So this man, knowing that he just told us in confessional that his gut isn't telling him that it's right, has continued to pester her about having a baby. He says that because nature and because God hasn't blessed them with this, and he said we like it was the both of them, even though he was speaking for himself, and we are not feeling in our gut to do it, I will always be in the child's life. But because you have to carry it and it's your body, the responsibility lands more on your shoulders. I made sure that I put on the subtitles because I was like, that's not answering the question, and what he's saying doesn't make sense. He then goes back to saying it's her body and her choice, that she's the one who would have to carry it and all those other things, but he's not experiencing the burn in his stomach that tells him that this is what they should be doing. So I want to know if his gut was burning at their 20-year anniversary trip when he suggested for her to do the IVF in the first place. Was his gut burning when he got upset with her in confessionals, when they were sitting with Leon, when they were talking about how they don't understand why she wouldn't take Robin up on this offer? They planned this crap. He should have told her that over a year ago when Robin first made the offer, that his gut was saying no. So his answer is finally, if only God lets it happen. He doesn't feel like it's a problem if nature does it. He's like, if nature does it and God does it, then absolutely, I would love to have a child with you, Barry, but only if it happens that way. It's really easy to tell someone that you want to have a child with them when it happens naturally, but add to the fact that he already knows that in the over 20 years of their marriage that they've been together, naturally, Mary has only been pregnant twice with one viable pregnancy. So him saying this shows what a clown he is. He then says no. He tells her all of that, and for some reason, Mary says, if you want, I could do some tests to see how it will work naturally. And I said, this is a part of the disconnect because he told you no. At this point, have you all not already tested to see naturally what's going on? And didn't you tell us something about how it's just hard for you to conceive, that Cody's fine and that something is just not going right with you, but there's nothing that they can really do to fix it? So you don't listen. What do you need to get testing for if he told you he wants it to be done naturally? So he made it clear what he wants, and he said that I want to do it naturally. He's wondering if she's copping out. He wants to sit on the no before gathering more information. She says, let's think on this. And he says, let's think on it as a no, and we'll stew on that thought. And she's like, what do you mean? And he's like, if it's a no, do we have any regret? If it's a no, do you find yourself waking up the night in tears over the fact that you want to have a child? That kind of thing. Let's sit on the no's. This is an example of gaslighting to me, because you telling her to sit on no's when you already know the answer is no. What is she sitting on the no for when you told her no? Goodness gracious, Mary, don't listen. She doesn't understand now that he does not want to have a baby with her. She doesn't. And she doesn't understand now that he doesn't want to be with her. Mary struggles with the word no. She said that she was shocked and she was sad, but she didn't tell him that. He said again, let's sit in the no. And then he gives her a kiss and he hugs her. This is just so cringy to me. I don't get it. The bird heads to discuss Mary and what her decision is as far as the surrogacy goes. And I know that Robin already knew. I feel like this is extremely dangerous and that Robin and Kody have continued to do things that undermine the family. Mary talks about how amazing it was that Robin was willing to do this and how close they are. But I just feel like the bird knew she wasn't going to be having her baby or raising kids with her. I'm sure her and Kody talked about it. Mary says that they decided not to do it, but she was going to tell Kody that she wanted to give it a try and she wanted to start the proceedings for IVF. Goblin is surprised by this because neither her nor Kody thought that she would really go through it. And I said to myself, why, if you really wanted this, did you not tell him that instead of asking him what he wanted? Because at that point, he had already told you that he wanted to have more kids. So you should have tripped him up in his line, just said yes, and then watch him fall back and start to blame it on money and everything else. The bird says, he said no. So are you feeling like that's the right answer? See how she turned that doubt switch on? The goblin is good. For you to sit there and know that the man said no, and then for you to say to her, do you feel like that's the right answer? Her husband just told her no. If Kody had told you no, would you have tried to change it up? Because you're really slick with the way you do things, Robin. Or would you have created that honeymoon that you love to create? Mary talks about how being an empty nester scares her. Goblin says that she feels like she dredged up something when she offered it because you kind of let it go. And she says it with a little laugh like that. The bird knew exactly what she was doing, and I very much so believe it was planned, despite how she's trying to act in this scene like it wasn't. Mary said that her biggest fear was that she was trying to have a baby to replace Logan when Logan left, and she didn't want to just do it for that. I said Logan, when Leon is going to leave, and she didn't just want to do it for that. Leon is about to be gone, girl, so the time has passed if you were really trying to do all of that. Robin says, I know, I'm sorry. I get that you just want to do things because you felt that there's a spirit up above saying, hey, I want to come down and through you. Did you pray about it? She says, yes, I prayed a lot. And I just want to know, did you feel the baby talking to you, Goblin, when you offered it? Little bird, did the baby talk to you when you said that you wanted to be a surrogate, or were you just blowing smoke out there like you always do? Bottom line is, Mary isn't in the same place as the other wives. She wonders what value she will bring to the family. Kody says the great thing about being a woman is she can change her mind 1,000,000 times, and he's just going to say, hey, I like it that way. And he's telling a lie because you changed her mind about this whole thing with the baby. She finally was ready to do the IVF thing because y'all pressured her so much, even though she had decided she wasn't going to do it 2 years ago. Y'all kept going and going and going and stirring up all types of emotions in her. And now she's back feeling lonely and disappointed because her husband has pulled her in, got her excited about this thing that is no longer going to happen because he didn't want to do it in the first place. You guys, let me know. Do you believe that Mary was tricked by Robin and Kody? And if you do, tell me what ways. Thanks for watching. Until next time.